Hey, you guys are going to make this quick. I got a free live credit training that's coming up, the simplistic blueprint to breaking the credit code. You do not want to miss this. I want to spend about an hour and 15 minutes in one room with you, telling you all of the credit secrets on how to get your credit right. Guys, let's go into this new year with great credit. And I'm going to make sure that you know how to do it. I'm going to delete your credit score 100 points within the next 120 days. I'm going to teach you the rules that the credit game must play by. I'm going to teach you the 5 secrets that credit repair companies wish that you didn't know, so you would have to hire them. I'm telling you the 7 hacks to a perfect credit score, 3 ways to make a lender or a debt collector erase negative accounts off your credit, how to take a negative account and turn it into a positive account. I'm going to tell you how to work the court system so that you can get rid of judgments and tax liens and bankruptcies and all that. All of that's going to be compiled into one simple training. It's called the Simplistic Blueprint to Breaking the Credit Code. I want you to sign up today. Just click the link. Go to www.myffu.com/credit blueprint. Again, that's www.myffu.com/credit blueprint, or just click on the link below. But I told you I wouldn't keep you long. My time's up.
Take your journey to credit repair with the Credit Intelligence Agency, featuring the Credit Rocket. Simply follow our roadmap for the most effective results to eliminating errors, inaccurate, and unverifiable information, thereby increasing your credit score. With the click of a button, you can generate and sign your credit repair letters from the comfort of your home using your phone, tablet, or computer. You can even send your dispute letters certified mail without ever leaving your home. Receive our best-selling 3-volume Edit Your Credit book series, Invest of Having Great Credit. Travel and experience the wonders of the world. Celebrate as you move into the house of your dreams. Live your passion by opening the business you've always...
Another broadcast right here, Broke Lives Matter. I'm your host, George Howard, and we're going to be talking about today and the next 17 days credit boot camp, you guys, where we're going to be going over every single thing that it takes to raise your credit score, how to delete those negative entities off your negative accounts or entries off of your credit reports, such as bankruptcies, foreclosure, late payments, medical bills, collections, charge-offs, all those things that we don't want on our credit report, but can seemingly be there. And I'm going to teach you from a perspective that even if it's yours, even if you did it, even if you were the one who was late or had the charge-off or had the bankruptcy, how to get that off legally and enforce your rights, you guys. Many times, the Bible says this, that my people perish for lack of knowledge. Many times we can't enforce what we don't know, but when you know, you can enforce all of the rules that it takes to, increase your credit. And so those are the things that we're going to be talking about over the next 17 days. If you guys missed it the very first day, we talked about what is credit. Credit is your character. On yesterday, we talked about the cost of bad credit. And literally, I believe that there's a synergy between poverty and bad credit that 78% of consumers today live check to check, and if we're already living check to check and we have bad credit, it is even worse because we're spending literally about $1,000 a month in just bad credit. That's not including what we're spending, but we spend an extra $1,000 a month by having bad credit. And guys, we can alleviate that problem very simply by increasing our credit score. And so that's what our motive and our our mission is over the next 17 days, over this 20-day boot camp, is to begin to teach you exactly how to begin to increase your credit and your credit scores, because it affects every portion of your life. I also believe this, you guys. I believe that many times credit is not important to us until we need it. Credit is not important to us until we begin to use it. Credit is not important to us until we go to apply for a loan or a house or a car, and it was like, oh my God, my credit, I should have got it up, or I should have. If we take the time now to actually begin to work on that, when we need it, it'll already be there. And so this is one of the reasons that we're doing this, guys. Just don't listen to this. Take action now. Now, you guys know that this training or teaching is absolutely free. There is a cost to this. There is a cost, and that cost is, guys, you got to share this out. Again, I'm going to say it again. There is a cost. You must share this out. So let me go ahead and speak to those people who are already here. Let's go ahead and say Faith Lady, Rashida, good evening. Let's see, Linda McCree, good, thank you so much. Constance is here. Harlan is here. And guys, know that we're on every single platform right now. We're on YouTube. We're on Periscope, and we are on Facebook. So guys, I'm so excited about this particular training and teaching that we're doing right now. Guys, go ahead and do one thing for me. Pay your tuition right now and then share this out with someone else. Guys, you probably heard of me because someone shared me with you. Be nice enough, be caring enough, be compassionate enough to share me with someone else. Return the favor. And also, it's your tuition. If you're in here and you did not share, you are stealing, because I do have a tuition, and that is just go down and hit their share button and let everybody know that I am online. If you guys want to start a watch party on Facebook, please do. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that 3 buttons on Periscope and hit the invite your friends in. If you're on YouTube, give me a thumbs up, comment in there, because I will reply to each one of your comments live as well. Miss Mimi, good to see you. Hello, guys. If you don't know, I don't know you're in here because we're across 3 different platforms. So the only way I can speak to you is that if you have to put something in the chat, and I promise you, I will respond to you. If you don't know, you guys, this Friday coming up, tomorrow, I will have a live training. There will be a live training. Thank you, Linda, for sharing. There'll be a live training where I'm going to be going into detail on how to get rid of your bankruptcies, your strategies, your foreclosures, your strategies, your medical collection, your strategies. I'm going to be going through that. It is absolutely free, will not cost you a dime. It will cost you about 1.5 hours of your time. And I promise you, the information that you're going to receive is going to be impeccable. Things that I don't share live, I will be sharing there. Good afternoon, Anointed Mimi. Good to see you. Those things you guys are going to be talking about that and sharing that. If you have not registered, go register right now. Let me go ahead and see if I can bring up that lower third that will actually help you go ahead and get registered for that as well. Let's see here if it's going to. Okay, now should be on the screen right here. It's at. No, it's not there. myffu.com/credit blueprint. Again, that's myffu.com/credit blueprint, you guys. Now it should be on the screen right here. That is myffu.com/credit blueprint. Go there right now. Go register. I promise you I will not cover that much information while you guys are going there right now. So if you have not shared, go share, and let's get into some content. Guys, when we begin to talk about credit scoring, please understand that this is a very, very complicated subject. And so we're going to be going over this for like the next 3 days. Literally, just the credit score, breaking it down. I believe this, guys, that you can't really utilize something enough until you really know. You really don't know how to operate inside of something until you know how it works, right? I can't fix something unless I know how it works, right? I have to know what it's supposed to do so that when it's not doing it, I know how to fix it. And so I've been in this industry, in the credit industry now. Literally, I started in 1997 as a loan officer with Creative Mortgage and Equity in Calumet City, Illinois. And majority of my tenure, I've owned mortgage companies. I've done every single thing that you can name in the industries, for modifications, you name it. Guys, in 2002, I published this book right here, Edit Your Credit. You guys can see here that it is copyrighted in where? 2002. So most of the people who are out here now, who are credit gurus, congratulations. I'm glad you guys learned new skill sets. But I can tell you this, you guys, we published 192-page workbook style. I mean, this thing is huge. Back in 2002, it's 198 pages. And so when you start reading about credit letters and all that kind of stuff, and you need a 707 or a 407 or whatever kind of letter, guys, we had that in 2002. This stuff is not new. I just did a little research early on in the game and did it. This book is no longer available. You cannot get this one at all. Matter of fact, I have to have this one probably laminated or some kind of way preserved because we've now gone to 3 individual books. We have volume 1, Insider Secrets to Excellent Credit, which we're going to be actually looking at today. Number 2, Insider Secrets to Fighting and Winning. right here. And then step number 3, insider secrets to everyday living. And so, guys, today we're going to be going and utilizing Insider Secrets to Excellent Credit out of the 3-book series. You can purchase these books, but I would recommend you to do it once you no, Nora, this is not pre-recorded, this is live. I would recommend you getting them at the credit training, because I will be running a special for these particular books. You can pay full price if you want to, but it's going to be on sale tomorrow, only at the webinar or at the training. So you want to make sure you guys are there as well. Hey, Shay, good to see you as well. So guys, make sure you guys are there. Let's get into this content. You guys ready? All right. So let's do a quick question real quickly for you guys as I begin to just do my introduction and talk about credit scores. I want to know let's do a slight poll. Is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian responsible for your credit score? Or that's a trick question. I don't want to word it that way. Does TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax compose your credit score? That's the better question. Do they compose or compile your credit score? Are they the ones who actually issue it? You can say yes or no. I want to actually see what you guys have to say about this, because guys, it was shocking to me when I actually first found out this information. TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, are they responsible, or are they the ones who actually issue your credit score? So guys, as we begin to talk about credit scoring ranges from a 300 to an 850 score, right? 300 to an 850 score. I see Terrence coming in saying no. I see Disney coming in and saying no. So we're going to let them keep coming in. They range from a 300 to an 850 score. To Sheila, she said, I don't know. Right? Tawana said no. They range from a 300 to an 850 score, right? I have a membership to the lab. I'll have to pay for something extra that's not there already. I don't understand, Nora. What do you mean? I see Mobley says no. VJ says no. Good, guys. I'm so proud of you guys. The answer to that is no. What happens is that there's a relationship that's formed that you have nothing to do with. And this is one of the things that we're going to be really talking about. Disney said display versus report. When we're talking about that very intuitively, because the credit reporting system is a voluntary system. I need you guys to really understand that, because that's one of the keys. Keisha said no. Good to see you, Keisha. That's one of the really important keys, you guys, to understanding your credit. It is that the people who report to the credit bureau system do it on a voluntary basis. So much so that they have to pay to report your information to the credit bureaus. Number one, please understand this. Number one is that it's a voluntary system. Number two is that TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax are all for-profit agencies. These are not government agencies. They're not, like the IRS that was subbed out from, way back in Congress to collect taxes and things like that. No, these are companies that was formed literally wherever they were formed. And then they are for-profit agencies, and they just grew and grew and grew. And all they do is collect data. They collect data. And so I want to share my screen real quickly, because I want to go over some things. And guys, I'm going to be sharing with you some information that's in this book right here, Edit Your Credit Volume 1. Edit Your Credit Volume 1. And Nora, if you can give me just a little bit more information. You said I have a membership to the lab. Will I have to pay for something extra that's not there already? Do I need to sign up for this webinar? Also updated. Upgraded credit info. Yes, you need to sign up for the credit. You need to sign up for this webinar. And if you're already in the lab, guys, if you don't know what the lab is our student center at Financial Freedom University. That's where all of your information, all your tools, all your resources, all your courses, all your classes, all the Credit Rocket, the Credit Intelligence Agency, the Legal Center, the Real Estate Center, all of those things are in the lab. It is huge. It is absolutely huge, you guys. And I don't think you guys really know what we do. So I think I might go even live later, well, probably tomorrow, maybe about noon, so you guys can see what all Financial Freedom has. Like, we're second to none in this industry. Trust me, I buy other people's courses because I want to see what they have to offer, and if I need to increase my game, right? And nobody, and I'm not bragging, we just believe in being trendsetters. Nobody has what we have, so I'm really excited about that. All right, so let's go ahead and share my screen real quickly, you guys, with you guys, so you guys can see just a little bit here. So let's get rid of this. We'll be talking about this in just a second, FICO, and I want to bring that up just from FICO. I want to go up, and I want to go over this real quickly. So number one, you guys, what we talked about is that Lenders is a voluntary system that is very important for you to know. Very important to know. They volunteer to report your information. They even pay for it. And then number two is that the credit bureaus are a for-profit agency. I'll say it again, they are a for-profit agency. And so when we begin to look at this right here, you guys, and again, this is right out of Edit Your Credit Volume 1. There's the relationships that happen here, you guys, when it comes to reporting on the credit bureau. The very first thing you guys see is you, right? You make a payment to a creditor. They report your payment history to the credit reporting agencies. They issue a credit report to subscribers. You've applied for a loan with a subscriber, and then they approve or deny you based on that. The problem with this whole cycle here is that you have from number 2 through number 9, you have no influence. You have no influence with your payment history, with the credit report. So if any of this information is wrong, you really don't know until you get your credit report. If any of this information is wrong, you ultimately can be punished for inaccurate and inadequate information. And the great thing about the credit bureau systems now is that they are monitored by 2 different agencies. Well, really one, which is, well, really we're going to get into that. They're really monitored by one, the FTC. So, well, we'll get into it. I don't want to jump ahead. We're talking about credit scoring today. Now, that'll be a whole nother lesson, and I don't really want to get into that. But they are monitored. But you have legal rights. You have a legal right to an accurate, verifiable credit report. I want to say it again. It has to be accurate. It has to be verifiable. All right. And so there are things that you can do to make sure that your credit report is accurate. So I want to share one thing real quickly before we get started with this. And this is going to really, I think, help in a lot of ways when we start talking about this. And that is that no matter what happens with your payment history, credit history, whatever, you are innocent until proven guilty. I'll say it again. It's like the court of law. A lender has to prove that you are and have performed the way that you have performed on your credit report. And if they cannot prove that, then it must be deleted or it must be updated. It has to be updated or it has to be deleted. And those are the 2 things that we use to make sure that our credit report is accurate and that it is verifiable. So what that's saying is that if they cannot prove that you were late, it has to go away. They cannot prove that you filed bankruptcy, it has to go away. If they cannot prove that that's your medical bill, which they can't, it has to go away. If they cannot prove, the problem is that we've just taken people's word for it. Oh, I did it, it's there. Guys, do you know how many people went to court or guilty and walked away with a not guilty sentence because they could not prove that beyond a reasonable doubt that they did it, that they're the ones responsible? If they cannot prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, it must come off your credit report. And so I want to show you legally. I ain't just talking about a letter. I'm talking about using the law, right? There's letters without a law or a strategy, they do not work. And that's why you want to make sure that you're at the webinar, because that's going to be the key to making sure that you guys are able to do that. All right. So in this right here, you guys, there's a relationship here that forms that you really don't have anything to do with. And that's the unfortunate part of the credit system, because guess what? They are for-profit agencies. So when you make this payment here to the creditor and the creditor reports this to the credit reporting agencies, the credit reporting agencies are getting paid from this relationship right here. Right? These are their customer. The creditors or the lenders are their customers. Well, also when people purchase credit reports to look, when you subscribe, they pay the credit reporting agencies. So this whole tier right here, the credit reporting agencies are getting paid, and this tier right here, they're getting paid. You know who's not paying the credit reporting agencies? You are not paying the credit reporting agencies. And since you're not paying them, you're not their customer, you're their product. I need you to understand this 1,000,000%. Matter of fact, let me just kind of bring my picture up here. And I know we're talking about credit scoring today. Oh, well, I wasn't sharing my screen. Oh, let me do that again because I wasn't showing my screen. All right, so let me show you again, you guys. I'm so sorry. So when you guys look here at the creditor, right, the creditor and payment history here, the creditor is paying the credit reporting agencies to report information to them. So the credit reporting agencies right here are getting paid from this tier here, right? This whole tier here, they're getting paid. Well, also a subscriber or a lender, and I call them subscribers because some people just buy soft inquiries from the credit reporting industries. They buy their information without ever pulling your credit. And then some people actually pull them, but either way it go, this whole tier right here, they're getting paid. These are their customers. Creditors and subscribers are their customers. You are not a customer. You're not, this is not tic-tac-toe. You got to be in a direct line. Boom and boom. Here, you're not paying them. You're not their customer. You are their product. I need you to understand this. This is very important. You're not a customer. The credit reporting agencies really don't care about you because at the end of the day, the only people they care about are their customers. The customers pay them, you don't. And so now we must utilize the law to ensure that what these people are saying about them or saying about you is absolutely true. Guys, if you have not shared this out, I promise you, I teach credit. I've been doing this for, guys, over 20 plus years. I wrote curriculums for the NAACP. I wrote curriculums for the National Urban League of Young Professionals. Thank you, Nettie Boop, for letting me know that I wasn't sharing my screen. I appreciate it. So you guys want to make sure that you are absolutely, when I say absolutely, I want to say absolutely, positively going to be at the webinar on tomorrow at 7:30, because guys, we're going to be literally going into a whole lot of content that I just don't have the time to do it. Go right here, myffu.com/credit blueprint, and let's get into this credit scoring thing. All right, so I asked the question earlier, who is responsible for your credit score? It's not TransUnion, it's not Experian, and it's not Equifax. All three of them are people who collect data about you. Let me say it again. All three of them are people who collect data about you, and then they send that data to FICO, which FICO is Fair Isaac Corporation. They send it to Fair Isaac. Fair Isaac takes their data, they put it into a complicated math formula called an algorithm. Is it algorithm or algorithm? I don't know. It's a complicated formula, right? Algorithm. They put into this major complicated formula, and then it spits out a credit score. Now, we know some of the pieces to put to the puzzle about the credit score, but all the pieces, because it's their secret formula, their secret sauce, they won't tell us everything. But we know enough to be able to tell you how to raise your score. And in fact, if you follow what I tell you to do, your credit score should jump, at least if you have poor credit at least, your credit score should jump at least 100 points in the next 120 days. So if you have a 500 score, you should have a 600 in the next 4 months, right? If you have a 600 score, we can get you in the 700s in the next 4 months. Just follow what I tell you to do. Because, well, not jumping into it, there's two phases. There's two phases to credit repair. Most people only do one, or they combine them, right? They mix them up, and they shouldn't be. There's a repairing stage and there's a rebuilding stage, and we're going to talk about that in this 20-day boot camp. We're going to be talking about the repair stage and the repairing stage and the rebuilding stage. Right now, I got to get back on subject with the credit score. Right? It's just so much information. It's like right. So the score ranges from 300 to 850 with Fair Isaac. So what happens is that the lender will report your information, or several lenders will report your information to the credit reporting agencies, and then they will send that to Fair Isaac, and Fair Isaac will actually issue a score. Now, tomorrow or maybe the next day, depending on how far we get today, we're going to be talking about a new score that's out called Vantage Score that TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian actually do put out, because now they're going to become competitors to Fair Isaac. It's going to take a little while for them to overcome it, but they're gaining market share very, 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 very quickly. And so that's another thing that we want to be talking about. And that's why you see that there's different models and things that we'll be talking, we might get to today. I really want to get to it. So let's jump into this. All right. Tell you what, let me get myself together. Let me take a small commercial break. When we come back from the small commercial break, we're going to be going into the details, the nitty gritty of what's composed in a credit score, and what's essential and what's really not essential into your credit score. All right. So give me 3 minutes, and I'll be back. All right.
Take your journey to credit repair with the Credit Intelligence Agency, featuring the Credit Rocket. Simply follow our roadmap for the most effective results to eliminating errors, inaccurate, and unverifiable information, thereby increasing your credit score. With the click of a button, you can generate and sign your credit repair letters from the comfort of your home using your phone, tablet, or computer. You can even send your dispute letters certified mail without ever leaving your home. Receive our best-selling 3-volume Edit Your Credit book series and video course teaching you how to win at removing late payments, medical collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, and other unverifiable information. Enjoy the success of having great credit. Travel and experience the wonders of the world. Celebrate as you move into the house of your dreams. Live your passion by opening the business you've always desired. With the Credit Intelligence Agency, live the life you've always dreamed of.
Hey, you guys, are going to make this quick. I got a free live credit training that's coming up, the simplistic blueprint to breaking the credit code. You do not want to miss this. I'm going to spend about 1 hour and 15 minutes in one room with you, telling you all of the credit secrets on how to get your credit right. Guys, let's go into this new year with great credit. And I'm going to make sure that you know how to do it. I'm going to teach you how to delete negative marks off your credit, even if you did not pay them correctly. I mean, it's yours, but I'm going to teach you how to delete them. I'm going to teach you how to jump your credit score 100 points within the next 120 days. I'm going to teach you the rules that the credit game must play by. I'm going to teach you the 5 secrets that credit repair companies wish that you didn't know, so you would have to hire them. I'm telling you the 7 hacks to a perfect credit score, 3 ways to make a lender or a debt collector erase negative accounts off your credit, how to take a negative account and turn it into a positive account. I'm going to tell you how to work the court system so that you can get rid of judgments and tax liens and bankruptcies and all that. All of that's going to be compiled into one simple training. It's called the Simplistic Blueprint to Breaking the Credit Code. I want you to sign up today. Just click the link. Go to www.myffu.com/credit blueprint. Again, that's www.myffu.com/credit blueprint, or just click on the link below. But I told you I wouldn't keep you long. My time's up. All right, you guys, and we're back live right here at Broke Lives Matter Show. I am your host, George Howard, where we're talking about Credit Bootcamp. Today, we're talking about credit scoring. For the next 20 days, or for 20 days, we're going to be talking about credit, just credit. And we're on day number 3, so you haven't missed that much. On day number 1, we talked about what is credit. Credit is your character. On day number 2, we talked about how much bad credit costs. It costs about $1,000 a month, literally, and that's really an understatement. And then today, now we're talking about credit scoring. And so let's go ahead and let's jump into this a lot. Guys, it's already 8 o'clock. All right, so give me 20 more minutes, right? I know I'm supposed to be 30 minutes long, and gosh, time flies. All right, so let's jump into this real fast. All right, so when we begin to talk about FICO and FICO scoring, they get the information from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So I get this question all the time. George, why do we have separate credit scores from TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax? Why do our scores range, and why do they differ? All right. The reason they score differently is because, watch this, you guys. Number 1 is that not everybody has the same scoring system, even though they use FICO. Number 1. Number 2, not everyone has the same data. So let's break this down very, very slowly as I go down here. I see. Thank you so much, Disney, for algorithm, and then thank you, Nora. Nora she put it on me, guys. Algorithm, like Al Gore, right? So thank you so much. What if your score is 833? How do I get to 850? If you already have an 833 score, you're already close enough to a perfect score. You're good. But if you really want to get to an 833, you guys, there's things called different scoring cards that they have. Is about 10 to 12 different scoring cards, and you have to get into that top tier scoring card. Number one. Number two is that you got to pretty much be perfect for the last 7 years. You have to at least have age credit for about 20 years. 15 to 20 years. We really don't know the secret sauce. We really don't. But I can tell you that to have a perfect score, you must have a very long credit history with very good and great credit utilization rates, no lates, age credit, very few inquiries. And I can tell you this, guys, the more credit you have, the better. And we're going to get into that when we talk about increasing your credit score. We're not there right now. We're just talking about what is compiled and what's composed in it. But people don't realize that the more credit that you have and you don't use, the better your credit score. I know it sounds crazy. I didn't make the rules. I'm just here to report them. All right. So when we begin to talk about your credit score, please understand that if I am a lender, and it costs me money to report to TransUnion, it costs me money to report to Equifax, it costs me money to report to Experian, I may choose to only report to one. Someone else may choose to report to two, and someone else may choose to report to three, which is why they have different data. That's how you can pull a credit report and it doesn't show up on one. Why? Because that lender says, I'm not going to report to all three of them because it costs me money to report to all three agencies. So the number one reason that your credit scores are different is because they don't all have the same data. So, let's just throw some names out there, right? Chase may report to all three. Discover may report to all three. But that car lender may only report to one, right? That mortgage may only report to one. Depending on really their budget for credit reporting will absolutely depend on whether or not they are reporting to 1, 2, or 3. And so that's something that you want to ask when you're applying for a loan. Do you report to all 3 credit bureaus? That is important, especially if you're trying to work on your credit, especially with secure cards. All secure cards do not report to all 3 credit bureaus. And so while you're thinking that you're increasing your credit score, you're only doing it on one card because they're not reporting that payment history to the other 2 bureaus, or they're only reporting to 2 bureaus, not the third one. And so you want to make sure that that's something that you're doing. That is, or they're doing. That is essential to rebuilding credit, but we're not there yet. So they have different data. Like every credit bureau has different data, and then they have different scoring models, right? And so this is where it becomes kind of complicated. And so I want to try to break this down as simplistic as possible. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to go straight to FICO. And they're going to show you, hello, Renee Rainey. I owe you a phone call today. I have not forgot, but I had to go live. So as soon as I end this, I will call you back if it's not too late. Well, you let me know if it's going to be too late or not, because I'm not sure if you're Eastern or Central Time or Mountain Time or Pacific Time. All right. So let me go ahead and bring this up real quickly, you guys, so you guys can see this. I'm going to share my screen with you, and let's go here. All right. So what I'm going to do is going to come over here. And I want to go down. Well, nope, I don't want that one. I want this one here. All right. So, guys, there are different models that FICO uses. And I need you to kind of understand this. So, not only do everyone's not reporting the same information, but then everyone's not using the same model. And so, when I say a model, it's kind of like an update, an upgrade. So, what does that mean? It's like saying, you have Windows, right? You have a computer and you have Windows. Well, hopefully that you don't still have Windows 95, right? Remember when Windows first came out, it was Windows 95, then it was Windows 98, then it's Windows Millennium, right? And then they just kept improving, and now I don't even know what Windows is called now. What is it called? I don't even know what Windows is called right now. It's just Windows, right? But every time they released, they upgraded it, they made it better and better and better. Well, the same thing happened with credit scores. they came out with one model, and then they updated it to a model number 2, and then they updated to model number 3. Well, right now they're at model number 8, and really model number 9 is going to be released real soon. And then they have something called Ultra FICO that's coming out. Then you have VantageScore that's there. And so when you start talking about this stuff can kind of get complicated. I know, but just stay with me. So depending on the industry will depend on where you are and what happens, right? So the most widely used version right now, they say, is FICO score number 8, or the model 8, right? But if you're in and here it is, look here, guys, imagine this being 3 different columns. So you have Experian in this column here, you have Equifax in this column here, you have TransUnion in this column here. If you guys are in the auto industry, they're using either 8 or 2 on Experian. But Equifax, they're using 8 or 5. Well, TransUnion is using 8 or 4. You get that? And each model has different algorithms in them. Thank you, Nor. Algorithms in them. And so they're going to score differently. Same thing with credit card decisions. If you start looking here in Experian, they're going to use 8, 3, or 2. A bank scorecard, FICO score, bank scorecard 2. If you're using Equifax, it's going to be a bank scorecard 8 or 5. And using TransUnion, so let's say, for example, I'm an auto lender, or I say I'm a credit card company, right? And I'm only going to pull Equifax. I may pull Equifax Bank Scorecard 5. I may not pull Equifax 8. Or I might pull Equifax 5, and I may pull TransUnion 8. I don't pull Experian at all. This is how complicated it can be when you decide to start looking at credit and how credit scoring can be. It can be very complicated, right? That's okay. I won't explain it to you, and then we're going to break this down as simplistic as possible so that you can have a better understanding of it. Is that fair? I hope so. All right. So when we start going here and we start saying mortgage lending, well, you see nobody's using 8 in mortgage lending. They're using 2 with Experian. They're using 5 with Equifax, and they're using 4 with TransUnion. So you have them using different scoring models on how they're going to score the same data. The data's the same, but when they put it into a different model, there's a different score that comes out because it's a different algorithm or a different formula that they're using based on the model or based on the windows that they're using, if you want to use that analogy. Model 2, guys, that's like Windows Millennium. That's how old that is. There have been 6 new models to come out since Model 2, but Experian is still using Model 2. Well, you know, TransUnion did a little better. They're using Model 4, but there's been 4 new models to come out since then, and then Equifax is using Model 5, which, well, you know, there's been 3 new models to come out since then. And then, of course, you got your newly released versions here. These are your newly released versions, and so I'm trying to break this down as much as possible. So now that we know that there's different models, I can go ahead and get rid of this now. Now that we know there's different models composed into your credit score, let's talk about what does it take to get your credit score absolutely up? Like not up, what's composed in it? Like what's inside of this score? And if you know what's inside of it, then when we get ready to dispute it or use the law on our side and we know how it works, now we can get a strategy together. Now we can formulate a strategy to say, now I know exactly how to operate within the credit bureau system to get my credit the most maximum enhancing system or the most maximum score that I can, even though some of the stuff in my credit report may literally be mine, but legally they have to prove it. And guys, there's some things they just can't prove. You cannot prove a bankruptcy. Just can't. If you didn't sign over a medical waiver for HIPAA, they can't prove a medical collection. It just cannot be done legally. It just can't. Repos, do you guys know the repo laws that they have to prove that they follow to get them? Like every single thing can be challenged if you know how to use the strategy. When we talk about those strategies tomorrow for an hour and a half, like literally just hitting it hard. When we talk about those strategies, you want to make sure you're there. myffu.com/credit blueprint. myffu.com/credit blueprint. Or you guys can go and click on this particular link that you should see at the bottom of the screen right here, myffu.com/credit blueprint. Guys, go there. All right. So let's talk about some of the things that are absolutely inside of a credit score. All right. And again, this is what we're looking at now, is right out of the book, Edit Your Credit. And this is really kind of common information that you're doing. Something it's not like something is really this here is kind of common, right? So if you guys can see here, there are two major things in this pie, right? And we can kind of control both of them, even though most people say you can't. Yes, you can, because everything has to be proven, right? So your payment history is 35%. Now that's, have you paid on time, right? It's kind of simple. Did you pay your credit report on time? And if you did not pay your credit report on time, well, your bills, if you did not pay your bills on time, it's going to really have an impact on your score, because 35% of your credit score is based on your payment history. All right. So this is like a weighted scale. If I had to say that, if you were in college or your high school and it said, 35% of your grade is going to be based on your final, right? Another 30% is going to be based on tests. 15% is going to be based on attendance. 10% is on class participation. And the last 10% is going to be on any, the lab work that you have to do, right? That's the scale of weight that's going to actually have on your score. Well, this is the scale that they have released that's included in your credit score. The problem is that nobody's ever taught this. Like, where do you get this information from? This is why most people struggle with credit. So your payment history, guys, make up 35%. So you say, well, George, I haven't really been that, on time with my credit. It's okay. I'm going to show you how tomorrow, 7:30 tomorrow. We won't be live. We're going to be at the free training where we're going to be talking about how to literally use this to our advantage. 30% comes to the amount owed. So when they say amount owed, you guys, it's what's called your credit. Will you show us how to sue a small claims court federal? Oh my God. Yes, Nora, definitely. Isn't bankruptcy a court proceeding that is ruled by a judge in public record? Yes. Is it S. Sabrius? Yes, that is absolutely correct. And since you already went there, well, I can't go there because it's going to take too much time. But yes, the fact that it is bankruptcy is a court decision, guys, the courts do not report to the credit bureau system, and only a lender can report to the credit bureau system. I need y'all to understand that. If you know the law, you can enforce it. You can. And there's other things you can do, like free. That's okay. We're going to go into it later. All right. 30% of the amount owed. So, guys, when we start talking about amounts owed, it's what's called your credit utilization rate. Do not let the big words fool you. It's just this. How much money have they lent to me, and how much money have I used? Or how much money have I utilized? So, here's an example. If I have a $1,000 credit card and I spent $500, I have used 50% of that account, so my credit utilization is 50%. Now, we're going to be talking about later the different types of accounts. I got to throw this in here because only revolving credit cards, lines of credit that are revolving, like you can borrow against it, pay it down, borrow against it, pay it down, borrow against it, pay it down. Those are the only ones that contribute for the amounts owed. Now, if you have an account that may be, well, I'm not going to get into that. It's going to confuse you. So the next, so you guys, you want this, and people say, oh, you want this under 30%. The devil's a liar. You want to start off at 30%. But the truth is, you guys, you want this right here, your credit utilization rate, you want that to be 10% or less. If you want maximum credit scores, you want that to be 10% or less. You say, George, well, how do I get that to 10% or less? That's a whole nother teaching that we teach, but getting debt free is not hard if you're intentional. I'm so serious. Getting debt free is not hard if you're intentional. We're just applying a few little, and I ain't talking about change. I believe in changing your lifestyle, but I'm talking about you don't even have to change your lifestyle. It's just utilizing some things that are already there that the rich are doing every day that poor people just don't do because we don't know. Okay, back to this. All right, length of credit history. All right, 15% of your credit score is based on your credit history. So the older your account, think of it like wine. right? The older your account, the better, right? If you have a credit card that's brand new and is 6 months old, it's not going to have the impact that as you having a credit card that's 10 years old. It's just not going to have the same impact. And guys, believe it or not, those people with 850 credit scores, they have credit cards that's literally been used for 20 years. Or credit cards for 20 years. And again, there's scorecards, you guys, that are tiered, and you got to get into that tier before you can hit that score. And which means that all 5 of these will have a certain criteria in order for you to hit that particular credit tier and that tier or credit card. And that is how you get to those scores. All right. So the older the account, the better. This is why when we start talking about improving your credit score, we're going to be talking about don't close the account with long credit history. Matter of fact, don't close no accounts. If you have a revolving account, I don't care what the interest rate is, don't close it. And I'll teach you how to use it as a tool instead of a lifestyle later on. Just don't close it and follow me, and I'll teach you how to use it as a tool. Because if you had that credit card for 7, 10, 15 years and you close it, you're literally losing 15% of your credit history. All right. Then you got new credit. This is this right here. Right. 10% of your credit is new credit. And so new credit is, the new credit you have. And also, how have you treated it? Guys, you cannot go get new credit and then go max it out. You look desperate. And desperate people are high risk. Because they're saying, oh, look, and this is goes back to credit utilization rate, which is here. They say, oh, look, they have $10,000 worth of revolving credit, but they use $9,000 of the $10,000. They use 90% of their credit. They're probably living off of credit cards, which means you're probably cash strapped, which now make you high risk. And since you're high risk, you're going to have a low score. People with good credit, I'm telling you, people with 800 credit scores literally have a lot of credit cards and they don't use them. I didn't make the rules up. This is just how it's done. A lot of credit cards, they don't use them. And then finally, you guys, we get to the types of credit used. Like, these are types of credit. Like I just talked about the revolving credit. Well, there's installment credit. There's mortgage credit. There's auto credit. There's that student loan credit. There's that literally what's considered to be high risk credit. Those and not payday loans. They're like this, not Citibank. What are they? I can't even think. Like Household used to be on almost every corner. Financing centers, where you go into the finance center and they give you a loan with high interest rates. Those really don't help your credit. They make you look kind of desperate too. Then you got people like retail stores and credit cards, things like that. Your retail stores. That's another one. That's different types of credit. And so the type of credit also has an effect on your score. So that is so. What about Rent-A-Center? Credit line gets paid off. They close the account, pay off. How to keep open? Well, number one, Sabrina, if you were here, Sabrias, you here yesterday. We talked about that, the cost of bad credit, and you don't want to go to Rent-A-Center. You really don't. You really, really, really don't. Number one, and number two, they don't report to the credit bureaus. And we'll be talking about like who reports to the credit bureaus a little later. Right now, we're just talking about credit scores and what's compiled in them. And then tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the Vantage score. And we're going to be giving credit grades. Like, if you have a 300, then you probably get an F, and if you have a, 800, you have an A+. Like, we're going to give you a credit grade. It literally will be a document that we actually have a grading system here. Facts, I purposely use one card maybe twice a year and pay it off into payments. Yes, Disney. But Disney, I want to tell you this. That is an excellent strategy, but you need more than one card. And say it again, it's an excellent strategy, but you need more than one card. I know. Now, listen, guys, I'm going to tell you this, and I want to be very specific. I believe in debt-free living. I am a proponent of debt-free living. I teach debt-free living. Credit is a tool, not a lifestyle. Credit is a tool, not a lifestyle. I do not teach that you need to pay interest. I teach that people are supposed to pay you interest. You are the lender, not a borrower. I'll say it again. People should be paying you interest. When you lend to many nations and borrow from none, I mean many nations are paying you interest every single month. However, there is a way to use credit, pay it off at the end of the month, and still not pay interest on it. You say, well, it compounds daily. I will show you how to do that, because all you got to do is make a phone call, and they will tell you when that compounds and when they should begin to calculate that interest, and make sure you pay it off before that date. It's literally not that. Matter of fact, I have a whole course that will go through those things and teach you that. Now, so when I say this, that's saying that if you got 10 credit cards, that is a win-win. That's a plus, not just one. You want 10, 15, 20, and you really want to, okay, I use this one for gas, I use this one for groceries, I use this one for bills, and at the end of the month, you want to pay them all off. Or before that cycle generates, you want to pay them all off. That way, you're not accumulating interest. That way, you're not paying extra for bills, and you're utilizing your credit, and I really hate to say this, but you're also generating points, and it doesn't cost you anything, and your credit score is really, really good. Because when you get on the other side, and guys, I'm going to say this, and I got to go. When you guys get on the other side, because it's 8:20 now, I've been on here almost an hour. When you get on the other side, when you start owning your businesses, which you follow me, I will teach you how to do that. When you start owning businesses, when you start trying to literally develop passive income, whether that's in real estate or whether that is by using other tools and techniques that we teach here, you're going to need credit. It is point blank period. You're going to need credit. And I know people are like, oh, but you can do business credit. You can. Just know that when you use business credit, you can do things like get a computer from Dell. You can get materials from Staples, or you can get materials from Uline. You can get, products from different stores, but you cannot get cash. It's very, very hard to get cash from a business unless you're getting a line of credit from a business card. Typically, they want to sign or own something that you can get cash. And if you got to get cash, like a credit card, right, then it's kind of hard. Business credit is typically on terms, like a 30-day term, 30-day net, 60-day net, 90-day net terms. Or you can get a line of credit like with Dell, something like that. We'll be going through that. I don't know if that's paid content or not. I'll probably give you some stuff for free. But tomorrow, you guys want to be at 7:30. If you have not registered for this tomorrow, you want to go right here, myffu.com/credit blueprint. I'm going to say it again, myffu.com/credit blueprint. You need to be there tomorrow. We're going to be breaking this thing down. Tell your friends, your family. If you got a boyfriend, a fiance, a girlfriend, a fiance, and they might struggle with some credit, you probably need them there, because if you dating somebody, you need them there. If you got kids, you need them at the call, because we're going to be breaking this stuff down for an hour and a half. I cannot, you guys know I like to play and have fun and talk and all that. I'm not going to be doing it tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're literally going to get in there. We're going to start teaching. And I just want to see you guys there. All right. So I was debt free for 3 years. Then I had to buy a car and didn't have the finances and had to finance it through a dealer. That's okay. That's okay. You're a blessing. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. You can call me SS3. Thank you, SS3. I appreciate it. No, I have several I do this with. Thank you, Disney. She says, boo, I got several that I do it with. All right. So, guys, look like that's all the questions that we have. Thank you, guys, for being here. If you're just now getting here, make sure you register for the webinar. Be there to the training tomorrow. It's not a webinar, because webinars are made to sell you products. I'm going to be doing a real training. Please have special for current students. I think I will do that. Matter of fact, if they're there tomorrow, it will really help them. But I can do one specifically for students. I can do that. All right. Guys, I love you. The love of Christ. God bless you. I got to show you these commercials one more time, and then I'm out of here. I love you with the love of Christ. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7:30 at the credit training. Tell your pastor them. Your pastor. Yeah, them. Tell the mother's board and the deacon board and tell all of them, don't go out. Don't go to the movies. I know Lion King is showing. Don't be doing that. I need you at the webinar or at the training. I'll see you guys in just a second. All right. Hey, you guys are going to make this quick. I got a free live credit training that's coming up. The simplistic blueprint to breaking the credit code. You're going to make this quick. I got a free live credit training that's coming up. The simplistic blueprint to breaking the credit code. You do not want to miss this. I'm going to spend about an hour and 15 minutes in one room with you, telling you all of the credit secrets on how to get your credit right. Guys, let's go into this new year with great credit. And I'm going to make sure that you know how to do it. I'm going to teach you how to delete negative marks off your credit, even if you did not pay them correctly. I mean, it's yours, but I'm going to teach you how to delete them. I'm going to teach you how to jump your credit score 100 points within the next 120 days. I'm going to teach you the rules that the credit game must play by. I'm going to teach you the 5 secrets that credit repair companies wish that you didn't know, so you would have to hire them. I'm telling you the 7 hacks to a perfect credit score, 3 ways to make a lender or a debt collector erase negative accounts off your credit, how to take a negative account and turn it into a positive account. I'm going to tell you how to work the court system so that you can get rid of judgments and tax liens and bankruptcies and all that. All of that's going to be compiled into one simple training. It's called the Simplistic Blueprint to Breaking the Credit Code. I want you to sign up today. Just click the link. Go to www.myffu.com/credit blueprint. Again, that's www.myffu.com/credit blueprint, or just click on the link below. But told you I wouldn't keep you long. My time's up.
Take your journey to credit repair with the Credit Intelligence Agency, featuring the Credit Rocket. Simply follow our roadmap for the most effective results to eliminating errors, inaccurate, and unverifiable information, thereby increasing your credit score. With the click of a button, you can generate and sign your credit repair letters from the comfort of your home using your phone, tablet, or computer. You can even send your dispute letters certified mail without ever leaving your home. Receive our best-selling 3-volume Edit Your Credit book series and video course teaching you how to win at removing late payments, medical collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, and other unverifiable information. Enjoy the success of having great credit. Travel and experience the wonders of the world. Celebrate as you move into the house of your dreams. Live your passion by opening the business you've always desired. With the Credit Intelligence Agency, live the life you've always dreamed of.